So today's class is going to be a core-based class. It's going to be quite challenging, I think. We're going to go through some warm-up activities and breathing and lovely things like that. And then we're going to start doing some really nice but challenging flows. We're going to do 2 separate flows. They're short, but they're quite active. And the first time round, like, if you don't quite get it, that's fine. And the second time, just play with what feels good for you, okay? Okay, so bring the feet just a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Having a few shoulder shrugs, so inhaling the shoulders up to the ears and exhaling them down, and just kind of getting a little bit more into your body, a little bit more into your breath, maybe wriggling the fingers and the toes, maybe rolling the head from side to side, just taking a moment to get out of your head and into your body. And then we're going to do a little bit of bouncing, which is just rolling up into the toes and down again quite quickly, like this. But we're going to play with activating the core and not. So when I say activating the core, I mean pulling the belly towards the spine and knitting the ribcage down and feeling like it's nice and strong, as if someone could punch you in the stomach and it wouldn't hurt. Don't try that at home. So to start with, we're going to relax the belly completely. Whoa, lovely. And we're just going to begin to bounce up and down and let the shoulders kind of hop and shrug. Nice, let them feel nice and loose. Let the hands kind of flap about at your sides, let the elbows bend if they need to. And we're going to keep going for 10, 9, just see how loose you can get. 6, 5, a little bit more vigorous, a little bit more bouncy. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, find some steadiness. Maybe your heart's beating a little bit more. Maybe you need to take a big, deep inhale. Lovely. And now we're going to try with the belly turned on. So we're going to pull the core up and in. I'm going to keep this whole part nice and solid. And we're just going to start again, but keeping that sense of activation. So you'll find that everything is immediately less jumpy. My shoulders aren't moving as much. Everything is knitted down and in. And again, we'll get a little bit faster. Maybe even you come off the floor slightly. And again, we'll go for 10. Keep going. 9, 8. See if you can fix a spot on the wall in front of you and just focus on your body and your breath. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Settle down, find some stillness. Maybe rock forward and back gently on the feet. Maybe take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, just coming back into the body, noticing that level of energy, that little bit of vibration that might be going through you right now as you've woken yourself up. Lovely. And then very gently, we're going to come onto the back on the ground. So we've turned everything on, we've woken the energy up a little bit, we're going to settle back down for a moment. So lying on the floor here, bring your heels just about outside the hip bones and let your knees knock together and let your belly just soften. And we're going to place both hands on our belly and just feel some really deep belly breathing. So as you inhale, feeling your back spread against the floor, feeling your belly rise, and see if you can challenge yourself to draw that inhale deeper into the base of the belly, really feeling like it's moving all the way down into the groin area. And as you exhale, that sense of automatic release, automatic relaxation. And keep that focus on the breath. Notice if there's any resistance there. Sometimes our mind is fighting when we try and come into a quieter, more mindful place. And if you notice that resistance, just accept it. Just let it fall to the back of your mind and take a deep inhale and find that cool clarity bringing you back to the here and the now. Today's flow, like I said, is about connecting with the core of us. Both physically, we're going to be doing lots of core activity, that amazing strength that we hold in the center of the body that wraps around all of our precious organs, but also the core of who we are. That sense of centering. And as you feel the breath rise and fall and soften in your belly, So begin to close your eyes. And if you'd like to come with me on a slow visualization, you're more than welcome to. Or if you'd like to just keep observing the breath, that's fine too. Just for the next few moments, letting your mind settle and quiet. With that exhale, letting everything you don't need flow from you, move past you. And casting your mind to how it feels to soften in your center. How it feels to surrender both physically and mentally, and allow yourself to be soft and vulnerable. Often in those times where we are our softest, we are our most quiet, we are our most calm, we begin to discover and uncover some of the principles, some of the root values that really make us ourselves. I find that I am my most vulnerable when I am in the midst of something I'm compassionate about, when I'm really feeling and truly caring. And just seeing if in your own mind something arises in you about what makes you feel most soft, what makes you feel most vulnerable. What is that core or root value that really gets you in the feels, that can bring you back to who you are and what you believe in, even when your mind's at its most busy. And if nothing comes to mind, don't worry. Bringing that awareness back to the breath, breathing the breath. We're going to take 3 sharp inhales and exhales. As we inhale, we're going to puff our belly up, drawing the breath in. So ready? Inhaling. Sighing the air out through the mouth. So as we inhale, whipping that air through, almost like we're backwards whistling. And as you exhale, letting everything go. Twice more, sharp inhale. One more time. Lovely. Inhale, shoot those legs up into the sky, open the eyes. And we're going to begin to activate the core before we flow into our yoga sequences. So we're going to activate the top of the core by knitting the ribs down and lifting the shoulders slightly off the ground. Legs are still in the air, reaching the hands forward. Draw the low belly down and in. And almost push your heels up towards the ceiling. So your belly's pulling down, but your heels are pushing up, feeling that recruitment in the low core. Fine, building awareness in all of those places. And then just gently reach through your right hand as if you're trying to get your right rib cage to touch your hip. Feel that side of the core switch on. Keep pulling the low belly down. Take an inhale here, lift the chest a little higher. And exhale back to center. Keep all the belly on. Reaching through the left hand, squeezing ribs to hip. Feeling the activation in that side of the abdomen. Take an inhale here. And exhale back to center. Take a rest with the head down if you would like. Otherwise, we're going to move through some movements. So we're going to lower the left leg down to the floor. But we're not going to touch the heel on the ground. We're going to have it just hovering above the floor. Right leg still reaching up, heel reaching towards the ceiling, keeping that low belly on. With an inhale, reach your hands towards the toes and down. With an exhale, reach your hands towards the left toes and down. And with another movement, reaching the hands all the way to the right. Nice. And back. Option to hold the legs here and just do the movements with the top of the torso. Swapping over legs, we're going to do that again. Don't worry if you didn't get it the first time, we'll keep going. So with an inhale, lifting up to the left toes and down. When you're ready, reaching towards the right toes and down, and then towards the left side and down. Bring both legs up, bring your body down if you need, take a rock and a roll. Oh, that's actually a lot more work than it looks. It looks like tiny movements, but it's really quite challenging. Bring both legs up again when you're ready, and we're going to repeat that movement, but this time we're going to bring in a wide-legged pose as well, if you have room to do it. So when you're ready, Inhaling, lifting the shoulders up, scooping the heels towards the ceiling, feeling that whole core switch on. You've got this. Relax the neck if you can, tucking the chin slightly back. Okay, when you're ready, your right leg lowers down. Reach that heel away from you, lifting it slightly off the floor. And when you're ready, inhale, reaching the hands towards the left toes and down, reaching the hands towards the right and down, reaching your hands towards the left side and down. Inhale, lifting that leg up. Exhale, left leg comes down. Same thing, reaching your hands towards the right toes and down, reaching your hands towards the left and down, reaching your hands towards the right and down. Inhale, both legs come up. Exhale, both legs out to the side. If you have room, if you don't, you can bend your knees. I don't have room at the moment, so I'm bending my knees into a frog pose. And again, we're going to reach up in between our legs, reaching for the heels of our feet. And we're going to roll our knees towards the floor, drawing the low belly down. And we can pulse here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I like to call this catch the baby. Don't ask me why. Bring the legs back in and exhale, relax them down. Rolling the legs from side to side. Lovely. Hopefully we feel the heat of the belly turning on. We're going to do some more dynamic movement before we roll it up into our yoga flow. So curl the knees into the chest. Bring the chin up to the knees and take a big exhale. Inhale, send those both toes up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring them down. Inhale, curl them in. And up. Exhale them down. Nice. Inhale them in. Up. Exhale down. Keep that belly knitted in. Twice more in. Up. Exhale down. In. I feel like a mermaid. This is amazing. Channel the mermaid vibes down and then squeeze them into the chest when you're ready. Do a few rocks and rolls, holding onto the front of the knee, rocking and rolling. Rock and roll side to side, forward and backwards. And then if you get some forward and backwards momentum, you can roll up and onto the feet. Awesome. Okay, when you're ready, come to the front of the mat, find your breath again. Just make sure I haven't left anyone. No, I haven't. Good. Okay. Fine. Taking the feet hip distance apart, taking a big inhale, sweep the hands up. And we're going to fold forward, exhaling here, bending the knees as much as you need to, releasing the head and neck. Taking a moment just to again connect. It's amazing practice yoga for just bringing yourself back into the moment. Really drinking in the inhale. Sighing out the exhale, letting the shoulders loosen, letting the jaw relax. And then very gently inhale, rolling the body up. Sweeping the hands above your head, bringing the palms together. And then exhale, hands to the center of your chest, gazing down. And if you had a principle or a core value or a core characteristic that you connected with, I want you to bring that to the front of your mind now. For me, I'm dedicating this practice to my compassion. I'm seeing if I can connect to that sense of truly being me and spread that compassion to myself. Okay. Take a big exhale. And on the next inhale, shoot your hands above your head, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward. Hands come towards the ground. Bend the knees as much as you need to get them there. Inhale, lift and lengthen, half fold. Chest opens forward. Exhale, plant the hands down and have a little play with hooking the elbows back and round, drawing the ribcage up towards the ceiling and tipping the weight into the heels of the hands, sending the weight forward slightly. Keep gazing down between the hands, maybe hop, maybe step back to your plank position. Lovely. Find your plank here. Wrap the shoulders again, keeping the arms active. Draw the belly in. Again, please feel free to take this on your knees. That is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength and knowing your body. Take an inhale. Exhale, everyone lowering chest towards the floor. Chest comes forward and reaches forward as elbows reach back, pointing the toes, drawing the low belly up and in, coming into a low Cobra Pose. You don't have to gaze all the way up. You can keep that gaze on the floor in front of you. Big breath in, reaching that heart forward, shrugging the shoulders back into their sockets. Exhale, lower the chest towards the floor, press into the hands, tuck the toes and come up and back to your downward dog. Spend a moment here just setting up and remembering what feels good for you. Let the head relax down towards the floor, gazing in between the legs. Let the shoulders release away from the ears. Bring that breath again to the forefront of your practice, maybe employing Ujjayi breath if you know what that is, or just breathing deeply and fully, flaring the nostrils, flaring the nostrils, animal breath. You've got this, taking in everything you can from this world. With the next inhale, pressing equally into the hands, staying strong here, lifting up through the right leg. Spend a moment, find that balance. Find that little bit of stretch maybe in the back of your hamstrings. Know you can bend the knees as much as you need to. And then when you're ready, we're going to exhale, roll forward into a plank position. Keep that right leg off the floor and curl the right knee into the tricep of the right arm. Awesome. And then we're going to lift it away and curl it back in. These are called tiger curls. Again, please feel free to take these on the knees. That is an amazing way of honoring your body. Wherever you are, we're going to pump the knee in and away, in and away. 3 more times. 1, 2, and 3. Now keeping that knee curled in, we're going to press down through the left hand, roll onto the right fingertips and come up into a side plank. If you're on your knees, you do this on your knees just by opening the leg back. Either way, we're working on creating space below our left side, reaching up with the hands for 3. Keep reaching up. 2, 1. Exhale, roll all the way back round and place that right knee in between your hands, coming into a pigeon pose. You got this. This is super hard. Okay, when you're ready in this pigeon, inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, gently ease forward. So your heel is towards your groin. Easy pigeon. We're not stretching for flexibility here. We're more looking for the kind of movement, the oscillation of the spine, the grounding in the hips after those hard bits of work in the core and the arms. Just rocking here, coming back into your body. On the next exhale, plant your hands, push the ground away and step back to your downward dog. Lovely. Taking a moment here, taking a child's pose if you want it. Just coming back to your breath, back to your body in downward dog. And then pressing through both hands, lifting the left leg. Same thing again, rolling forward into a plank position, exhaling, really pulling the belly up and in, knee to the tricep. And extending back and curling in. Again, right knee to ground if that's what feels good for you. Lovely, keep going. See if you can find that explosiveness that happens as you exhale, you really pull in your belly and you really feel strong. 3 more, 2, 3, and then when you're ready, shifting the weight onto the right, coming onto the left fingertips and lifting up into a side plank if that feels good for you, or if you want to, bringing the bottom knee down and just coming into an open tabletop. Awesome. Keep extending that top hand up, broaden through the shoulder blades, relax through the neck. Breathe deep. Exhale, coming back, twisting the body into that plank and taking that left knee through in between the hands into your easy pigeon. Breathe here again. Using that rolling sensation, planting the fingertips or the hands on the floor and just oscillating the spine forwards and backwards. This is a place where I need to teach myself to find compassion for myself. My instinct is to push further, to move deeper into the posture, but actually It's really nourishing, and it's really useful for me to stay here and just breathe. With the next exhale, plant the hands on the floor, push the ground away, keep using the core to roll up to your downward dog. Breathe here. Okay, so that was round 1 of our first flow. The second round is going to go a bit quicker, a few less repetitions, and more time for you to flow. If you find a posture that you just really want to work on, you can pause there. This is your practice. So we're going to have a little bit of fun trying to jump to the top of the mat now. So come down onto the knees and shake your arms off if you need to. And all of us are going to set up into our downward dog, taking a step or two forward with the feet, bending the knees if that means you can access this easier, sucking the belly up and in as if you're trying to get the belly button towards the ceiling, rib cage towards the ceiling, and drawing the shoulder blades back into the back so you're nice and solid and stable. And we're going to take a few rocks on the toes. Nice. And then from these rocks, you can either hop or step your way to the front of the mat. Nice. Inhale, lift and lengthen to a half fold. Exhale, forward fold. Release the body across the legs. Take a moment to breathe. Two more big deep breaths, filling and filling and filling the lungs as you inhale, maybe even pausing at the top of that breath, just feeling all that sense of drinking in the air, sense of potential, and then exhaling fully. And then when you're ready, rocking the weight back into the heels a little bit, rolling the body up to a standing position, sweeping the arms above the head. Breathe in, gaze up towards the hands. Exhale, forward fold, swan diving down, repeating the flow again. Inhale, lift and lengthen, heart reaches forward. Exhale, again, bend the knees, plant the hands and tip the weight forward as if your center of your chest is seeking the space just in front of your fingers, rocking and rocking and rocking the weight. And coming back to plank, either stepping or hopping. Strong here, squeezing your core, feel strong. Knees down if you need to, and then lowering, chest reaches forward, elbows reach back down to the ground. Inhale, lift the chest, maybe low cobra, maybe up dog, whatever feels good for you today. Sink those shoulders away from the ears, creating space in the sides of the neck. Breathe in, heart reaches forward and up. Exhale down. Hands come to the floor, tucking the toes, pushing the ground away, and rolling back into your downward dog. Breathe here again. Setting up, getting ready. On the next inhale, shoot your right leg up off the ground. Feel that power and energy shooting through your toes. Exhale, squeeze the knee into the chest, rolling it forward towards the tricep. 3 reps here, extending out, squeezing in, extending out, squeezing in. Use that exhale, feel the power. Last time, extending out, squeezing in. This time, again, rolling towards your left side, coming onto your right fingertips and lifting up to your side plank. Breathe here. If you'd like to, you could even bring that foot behind you, coming into a wild thing, opening the posture all the way up. Wherever you are, take a big breath. Exhale, spin it all the way around, bringing that right knee in between the hands, shaking off the arms, shaking off the shoulders, coming into your easy pigeon. Heel is in the groin, sitting down into the hips. And take that exhale to just ground yourself, feeling the floor beneath you. Bring the hands to the floor, lean forward, push into the hands, tuck the toes, press up, and back to your downward dog. Again, we're going to do the same thing on the left-hand side. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, rolling forward into that plank, tucking the shoulders into their sockets. And again, exhale, squeezing the knee to tricep. Inhale, extending it out. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze. One more time. Inhale, extend. Last time, exhale, squeeze. Keep it there, rolling onto your right hand side, reaching your left hand towards the ceiling, keeping high. Again, option here to have the knee grounded at any point. Maybe stepping over into a wild thing. bringing that right knee to the right foot to the floor. And then everyone slowly closing off, both hands to the floor, stepping that left foot in between the hands and grounding down. Immediately as we start to move faster, as our breath starts to pick up, become more erratic, our mind will begin to switch on, the judging switches on. Sometimes I just feel it really helpful to just say no. When a thought of what I should be able to do, what could have gone better comes in, I just say very politely, no, and let it move past. Coming back to enjoying how the body feels, breathing deep. Exhale, ground the hands, push into the floor, stepping back to your downward dog. Awesome. We're going to do the same thing, doing a hop and a step forward. When you're ready, setting up, taking those feet a little bit further forward, bending the knees, drawing the belly up, drawing the ribcage up, setting the shoulders into their sockets. And again, a few rocks on the toes just to get that feeling of bouncing and moving weight into the hands. And then maybe hop, maybe step to the front of the mat. Take an inhale here. And an exhale, release into a fold. This time, heel-toeing your feet about the width of the mat. Coming into a wider legged forward fold. Just letting the breath settle, letting the body settle. Nice. And then with an inhale, lift to a half fold. Exhale, send the buttocks towards the heels, coming into a Malasana squat. Nice. I'm going to move on to our second flow. Maybe we'll only do it once because we've done quite a lot. We'll see how time goes. But before we do, we're going to have a practice of crow pose. So I'm going to do a workshop on crow and tuck handstand on Monday. So this is a good prep. All right, ground those hands down. Hands are underneath shoulders. Hips come up into the sky, knees tuck into the shoulders. Tipping forwards, and again, you're trying to get your heart to reach just beyond your fingertips. And you're going to rock that weight into the hands. I have a bean bag in front of me, which is super useful, but just rock forward, draw the belly up and in, tent the rib cage as if you're trying to get the ribs to the ceiling, and feel the lightness that brings. Squeeze the inseams of the legs together, let that help you have some solidity, and maybe you bring 1 foot or 2 feet off the floor. If crow is the easiest thing in the world to you, wow, that's amazing. You can work on rocking into tuck handstand from crow, so sending that weight even more forward, bringing both toes off the floor and bringing heels towards butt. Take one more breath here. Exhale back down into your Malasana. Gosh, good work. Inhale, stand up, sweeping the hands up, embracing the air. Exhale, hands come down towards chest. Starting our second flow. When you're ready, take an inhale, shoot the hands up, bend the knees down. Nice. Exhale, bring the hands to the knees. So you're cupping just above the knees. Lovely. I'm going to do it this way because it's easier for you to see. And then we're going to oscillate one shoulder toward the opposite knee and the other. Take your knees a little wider if you need to. Just moving into some rotation in the back. Let the neck go. Let the core go. This is a little bit of relief. Awesome. One last twisting move. Inhale back to center. Raise the hands up. Turn the core on. Feel strong. Press through the heels. And then exhale, fold forward. Vinyasa. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, planting the hands, tipping the weight into the hands, reaching the chest forward. Maybe the feet come off the floor, maybe they don't. Whatever way, coming back to plank. And exhaling down to your belly. Inhale, lifting up to your cobra, your up dog. Keeping that low belly sucking in. Exhale, release down to the floor, planting the hands underneath your shoulders, pressing up and back to your downward dog. Breathe here. Inhale, right leg sweeps up into the sky. Imagine drawing an arc or a rainbow with your heel. Exhale, step it through and between the hands, rolling the back foot around so you're coming up to warrior two. I will do it this way because it's easier for you to see. Awesome. Spread those hands out. Take an inhale, shrug the shoulders up to the ears. And then exhale, settle down a little bit further in. Imagine you're wrapping both legs backwards and you're letting the hips drop in between. Take an inhale, reach up with that front hand coming into revolved warrior. And then an exhale, roll the forearm down onto the thigh, coming into wide angle pose. Option here, if it feels good for you to bind, taking that bottom hand and wrapping it behind you. If that's not accessible to you, then don't go for it. Here's the hard bit, everyone together, inhaling that bottom hand away and lifting both hands forward. Hold here for 3. Oh, it's so hard. 2. Keep drawing the belly in. 1. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, hop the back foot in, seeing if you can hover it off the floor. Whatcha? Yeah, it's super hard. Coming into a half moon if that feels good. Maybe we need a block, maybe we don't. Nice. And then if you're feeling super strong, even without touching that back foot to the floor, you can roll your hips to parallel with the mat and come into warrior. Maybe it takes a little more practice. Have a go here. Keep breathing, rolling that top hip down, finding that warrior 3 position. And then bringing but one hand on top of the other, bringing it down just in line with your shoulders. And we're going to take 3 kicks. So as we exhale, we're going to kick our back leg into our hands. And then inhale up. And with this, we're going to activate our core. Exhale, kicking the back knee in. Inhale away. Maybe we're wobbling, maybe we're struggling. Don't worry. Exhale in last time. Inhale away. And then exhale, back toes come to the floor, back knee comes down, and adjusting into a lunge. Awesome. Time to breathe again. I invite you to keep activating through the heel of the front foot to lift that energy out of sagging into the joints too much. Draw the low belly up and in. And again, roll your shoulders back and down. Just notice where you're holding the tension. So we've been doing a lot of activity, a lot of effort. With effort comes striving, and with striving comes tension. So noticing where in your body, maybe your jaw, maybe your fists, maybe your shoulders, is holding. Let go. Take an inhale. Sweep the hands to the ceiling. Exhale, bring the hands down to the floor, pushing into the hands and stepping back to our downward dog for a moment. Letting the head and neck release. And breathing there. We're going to have a little break in between sides. So with an inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, bring both knees to the floor and sit back onto the heels. So a little bit of heart opening to accompany all that strong strength work we're doing in the core. We're going to inhale, standing up onto our knees. And we're just going to reach back with alternate hands. So as we inhale, we're going to reach back towards the heel, sending the hips forward, drawing the core in. Inhale, back up. Exhale, reach back through the opposite hand. Inhale, back up. So we're just working that slight opening. And just notice if that twist is too much for you. As you're reaching back, you can cross hands and just gently lean slightly back and come forward. Sometimes that feels much better for people who have dodgy spines. If you've got scoliosis. Sometimes nothing feels great if you've got scoliosis when it comes to back bends, in which case don't do them. Nice. If you want to take it a little bit further, reaching both hands back, opening into your camel pose, drawing the core up and in, keeping the chin tucked, and coming back up for 3 repetitions. Exhaling back, inhaling up. Exhaling back. Inhaling up. And then when you're ready, exhaling back down, sitting onto your heels. Take a moment, feel your hands pressing onto your thighs. Feel your elbows searching for the floor and your shoulders relaxing down your back. And coming back to connect with the core of you. Coming back to whatever word, whatever feeling you've dedicated your practice to today. For me, it's compassion. Okay, when you're ready, planting those hands on the floor. Final round, I think, of this one. Tucking the toes, rolling back into your downward dog. When you're ready, left leg shoots into the sky, reaching up, breathing in. Exhale, bring that knee in between the hands, rotating that back foot, coming up into warrior two. Again, I will swap to this direction. Finding that nice warrior two. Sometimes I find in warrior two, if I lift my elbows too high, my shoulders creep up towards the ears. So I tend to rotate the elbows down so that the shoulders feel like they're spreading apart. Again, take a breath into the belly. Exhale, seek a little further with that knee. Inhale, lift that front hand, revolving your warrior, reaching up to stretch the side of the body rather than sloping down. And then exhaling, rolling forearm to thigh, reaching up and over, extended warrior. Breathing into that side of the body, opening and rotating that heart towards the sky, but keep the neck relaxed. Use that exhale, use a little shake of the head just to let anything that doesn't need to be on release. Again, when you're ready, you can extend that bottom arm up, holding here. Keep leaning forward, challenge yourself. 3, 2, 1. When you're ready, straighten that front leg with an inhale. Exhale, bend the knee, push gently off the back foot. Maybe coming into warrior 3, maybe not. Maybe having a little play, maybe falling over. All of those options are amazing. This is the bit where the frustration, where the core works. Nice. And again, if you're feeling super confident, you can roll straight into warrior. Sorry, half moon to warrior 3. And again, you know where you're going with this. So maybe we're just playing with warrior 3. Maybe we have a wall. Maybe we're tapping our toe to the floor. All of that's great. If you feel super confident, you can start bringing that knee, exhaling, squeezing it into the hand and extending for 3, 2, 1. And then when you're ready, taking an inhale to extend that leg back and an exhale to bring toes and then knee gently to the floor, coming into a lunge. And again, finding a position that feels good for you, beginning to engage the legs slightly just so you don't drop mindlessly into the hip joints. Rolling the shoulders up and back. Maybe closing the eyes. Breathing that little bit deeper. Lovely. Inhale, sweep the hands up to the ceiling. Exhale, place them down on the floor, stepping back to your downward dog. Taking a few breaths here. Shrugging the shoulders away from the ears. Drawing the belly up and in. Just noticing how the body feels right now. It's a lot of energy we've been using. Gazing forward. For those of you that can jump through, feel free to do so now to a seated position. Otherwise, joining me if you're ready, bringing the left foot towards the right wrist, coming onto the top of the left foot, coming onto the top of the right foot, crossing them over, and then slowly bringing your bottom down, rolling back. Fine. Bring both soles of the feet together in front of you, holding onto the shins or the thighs, depending on where you can reach. And we're going to do a little bit of spinal oscillation here. So as you inhale, shoulders go down, heart lifts up. As you exhale, rolling chin to chest, tucking and rounding through the back. 5 more times here. Inhale, rolling through, lifting the heart towards the ceiling, shoulders shrug down. Breathe in deep. Exhale, draw belly towards spine, curling, concaving through the back. Inhale. Elbows draw down, heart draws up. Exhale. Tucking chin, rounding back, drawing belly in. Move into your body. These rounding movements, these oscillating movements are amazing for bringing us back to our primal selves. Lovely. Inhale, chest comes forward. Exhale, reach the hands forward, slowly roll the body back. Coming into a posture lying on your back, both knees open out to the side. Shrug the shoulders underneath you, hands out to the side. Lovely. And we're just going to build some mobility through the legs and stretch through the core for the last part of this class. So when you're ready, bringing the right leg up, exhaling it over to the left hand side and coming into a gentle twist. Reaching out through the right hand, shrugging right and left shoulder onto the floor, letting the head and neck release. Still being aware of the core, still building that awareness, maybe tightening the core, feeling that sense of wringing out the center of the body. And then inhaling back up to center, exhaling that foot back down into that diamond shape with the legs. Inhaling left knee into chest and exhale, rolling it over to the right hand side, extending both arms out. Using an exhale to sink you in and relax you into this posture. Just releasing here. Letting your mind go blank. Or if it won't go blank, letting the spaciousness, the coolness of the inhale build a sense of space. Even if the busy fuzziness of your everyday internal monologue is still in the background. Just allowing that to settle and quiet, turning the volume down. Again, maybe we play with activating the core to move deeper into this twist. And then inhale, that knee comes to center. Exhale, both legs go down, sole of the feet touching. Reaching forward with the hands, bring both feet in, still soles together, holding the ankles, sending the knees out wide. And you're trying to get your ankles towards your pubic bone, using the arms against the thighs to push the legs wider open and to rock the low back on the floor. Building into some hip movement, maybe rocking side to side. If this is super hard for you, if it feels like you're just grasping and reaching for your ankles and it's uncomfortable, let them go and just allow them, the weight of your feet, the weight of your knees to bring it in. Or maybe hold the knees rather than the ankles. With the next exhale, bringing the soles of the feet to the floor behind the hips, we're going to take 3 luxurious bridge poses. If you would like to practice wheel and it's in your practice, you can also do so. So pressing both soles of the feet down, inhale, lifting the hips off the floor as you do this, rolling the arms back and behind you, chest reaches towards chin, opening fully through the rib cage, and then exhale, slowly massaging the back down onto the ground, feeling everything empty and settle with that exhale. Twice more, inhale, lift those hips, reach the hands back. Really filling. Exhaling, feeling everything coming back. Hands come back down by your sides. Grounding the low back, feeling that release. Final time, inhale, breathe deep. Shooting those hips up to the sky, lifting, expanding through every side of the rib cage. Building that breath right into the top, right into the back, right into the sides of the ribs. And exhale, sinking all the way down onto the back. taking a moment here to realize the effort is over, to appreciate the work that you've done, all this movement, feeling the shoulders settle down, feeling the low back settle, feeling the feet grounded. Taking and feeling into any last moves the body needs, maybe a plow pose, maybe a stretch out, maybe an inversion if you're feeling super, super psyched today. Or maybe like me, you just want to extend your feet out. Open the palms to the ceiling, shrug the shoulders down into the back, and come into Shavasana. Letting the eyes grow heavy, letting the eyelids close. Letting the muscles in the face begin to relax. Knowing that you're safe in this moment. Knowing that there is nothing else you need to do and nowhere else that you should be right now. Letting the breath rise and fall in the chest, like waves rolling on an ocean. The inhale building, lifting, full of potential, taking into your body everything you need. The exhale grounding, releasing, relaxing, surrendering into gravity. All the muscles getting that little bit heavier. Allow that inhale to bring a sense of freshness, as if you're drinking air in through each and every pore in your body, fingertips, toes. And as you exhale, releasing everything you don't need. So you're almost glowing with just the energy you've built, nothing else. Bringing back to the front of your mind that thing, that principle, that core value. Maybe bringing your hands to your belly if you would like, maybe to your heart. And just repeating that word or that concept to yourself 5 times as you exhale. Compassion. Compassion. Keep that breath building in your body. Reveling, enjoying that you've taken just a glimpse of who you truly are through this practice, through movement, through breath, whittling away all of the expectations, all of the things we carry day to day, shaking them off and uncovering just a little bit of what's a few layers deeper, a few layers closer to your true being. When you're ready, beginning to wiggle the fingers and toes. Beginning to roll the head from side to side. Being gentle with yourself. There is no rush. Rolling onto the side or finding a way to come up to seated. Taking a few last moments in this practice. I invite you all to take an inhale, raising your hands up into the sky, stretching, opening your eyes, gazing to the ceiling. Just giving out or taking in anything you need. And exhale, bringing those hands into your heart. Feeling the pressure there, feeling the connection. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the class. Be sure to check out the other ones in the course series if you are interested. Oh, I've got real yoga hair going on, haven't I?